All right, welcome back. It's been a little while. It's been close to 2 months since my last video, but yeah, I just decided, a bit later in the day. It's a bit rainy. It's a bit rainy over where Dupee is as well. But yeah, I'm just decided today I wanted to do another video. As you can see from top left, it's John Dupee, Johnny Connecticut, John Santoro, whichever alias he wants to go with. Um, Thank you to Walls who uploaded it on YouTube, and thanks, I guess, to Crime Watch Daily for the original footage. Yeah, let's get into this without any more BS talk.
Hello.
Hey, boo. Where are you?
I'm outside. My sister just got back in the car.
Oh, okay. Just go through the back door so nobody sees you.
All right, I'm at the back door.
Just go in.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Now, what I find funny is if you look back here, I think, it's dead of night. He's looking around a little bit, looks a little bit shady. He just had his his sister drop him off. The famous Dupee tactic of just saying, "Oh yeah, my sister will drive me. Yeah, she'll do that." Not even asking her, just saying, "You are going to drive me here." That's just casual for him. But yeah, just bet he likes that. He's like, he doesn't have to knock on the front door, less witnesses. He's like, all right, I'm set.
Just go in.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Now, here's one of the more famous moments of John Dupee. When he first walks in the door, what is the first thing you do? Look at the decoy, or he doesn't know it's decoy yet, but look at the girl he's been talking to. She calls baby. Just like look at her. Say hi. No, just walks in immediately. He goes on his phone instantaneously. Doesn't even look at the decoy. Could be a man for all he knows. He hasn't even looked at her.
Hey, what'd you bring? What did you bring?
Presents.
What do you got?
Now, I find it interesting. He's been in the house for about 11 seconds. That is the first time he's actually looked at the decoy. Like, he walks in and he's on his flip phone. He looks up. He doesn't even look up to see where the counter is. He just kind of glances up a little bit. He doesn't even move his neck. He just kind of like glances up and looks where the table is so he can walk over. And he's so distracted with his phone. She's like, "Oh, what'd you get me?" And he's like, "Huh?" Like, not even paying attention. Like, I feel like Dupee definitely should be a little bit more excited to be over at a girl's house. I mean, she's allegedly, I believe, supposed to be 13 or something like that. I could be wrong, but he doesn't even. He's not. He's like so casual. Like, this is something he does every day. He's like, "Oh, just another date." Dupee doesn't strike me as a guy who's got many dates. I mean, look, just look. Like, this is not the man who gets dates every day.
Show me.
Also, he's not helping himself with that haircut. Or I don't even want to call it a cut. It's just greased the hell out of it and slicked it all right there. Like, look at the shine. You can see it. You can see the shine where he just smashed it all down with like an entire handful of like grease.
Chip.
Nice.
Fabled. He just hands it to her like it's
What kind is it?
like it's a treasure. Again, what kind is it? Pretends he didn't hear it.
Thank you. It's so nice to finally see you.
What's up?
This is crazy.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm really nervous.
Why?
Are you nervous? And says yes. And he goes, why? Now imagine this isn't a sting or something along those lines. Even if she is of age, He walks in, looks at his phone, pulls out the stuff, and just arches over the table and just looks at her. Doesn't try and start up conversation. No talking. Just starts looking at her. Like, that's not correct. Just try and talk. At least like, hey, how you doing? It's good to see you. No, just, are you nervous? It's like the first question you ask. If you ask if you're nervous, there's probably a reason she'd be nervous.
I've never done this. Have you?
No.
So what do you want to do?
I'm sorry for pausing it so often, but I just love how fast, obviously decoys are fishing for like things for them to say for it to be incriminating, but I really love that she's like, oh, have you done this before? And he's like, no. Says it like really fast, like, absolutely not.
Ew.
A hug?
I don't know.
Now look at that pose. Look at that pose.
What do you want to do?
A hug?
I don't know.
Look at that. No side to side, like gentle, like, oh, come here, like hug, just arms all the way up, like a complete wire, in this case, like a V. Just absolutely no reason to have your arms that high either. That's just like an imposing pose. I mean, Dupee is not really an imposing guy, but look at that. Like, look at how high he has his hands in comparison. Like, there's no reason for that. And also, she's right there. So, if you were the one just sitting there, you could just be like, oh, you'd be like, oh, we could have a hug. Or it's still a weird thing to, like, suggest. Like, suggesting a hug is just, like, a weird thing to do in general. But,
Hey, Boo.
Hey.
You got a seat right around that store right there in front, please.
Chris Hansen with those classic lines. Hey, boo. You gotta love when he has those little like moments where he starts messing with the predators, or as I don't even know which decoy said, just dinking with my head. Someone in the comments can tell me who that was.
Oh, right there. Please have a seat. Right there. Set the phone down, please.
Again, I'm so sorry for keep on pausing, but I just, you watch this enough and you notice little things. I mean, this is a fairly noticeable thing, but I just find it really funny. He's had his phone the entire time. That's like a de-stressor. He's had his hands looking at it. And keep in mind, that's like a flip phone. There's not like anything like, games or anything on that phone. There's just like call. That's it, pretty much. And text. But you'd have to press it like ABC is on 1. Like, there's not much to do on those things. But I just love how Chris comes in and goes, set the phone down, please. Just almost like, he's like, not even, it's kind of like stern, a mix of stern and just like annoyance. It's like, I'm trying to talk to you. Put down the damn phone.
What is your plan here tonight?
Just hang out, watch football
Hang out and watch football with whom?
with her,
Who's her?
with Bailey,
Bailey. And how did you meet Bailey exactly?
through Whisper.
Whisper. And do you know how old Bailey is?
She's 14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
She told you she's 13. Not that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Another classic line. That's one that goes down for the ages in the TCAF community. 14. She said 13. Not that matters. Just such. It's like. I don't know. It's just a classic line that goes down. And also, just wanted to mention back a little bit. I know a bunch of other people have pointed this out. I'm saying common things, but just, my man, you got a lot of things wrong with you. Like your posture. Like, look at that. Like, you can almost draw like a straight line from here to here. Like, that's really bad for your back. And we'll talk about it later, but I don't know if they talk about it, but this guy smoked meth for a while. And, a while back, I don't think I mentioned it, but he's covering his mouth a lot near the decoy because and that's honestly why he didn't talk a lot, because he didn't want to risk the decoy seeing his disgusting meth mouth where he's missing, 40% of his teeth. And the ones that are still there are kind of, disgusting. But, on with the show.
And she told you she's 13. Not that that matters. How old are you?
30.
30.
Lies.
And why would you at 30 think it would be okay to hang out with a 13-year-old girl home alone?
I think he's in his 40s.
I mean, we just hit it off, friends.
You hit it off with a 13-year-old girl.
We were just talking.
Just talking. Well, now you're here. This is more than talk.
I know, we just came to hang out. You know, I
And
brought
what, get a hug?
and watch football.
Watch football.
Yep.
Who's playing tonight?
Steelers and the Ravens.
Infinite confidence in that statement. He's off. Like, this is one of the few moments where Dupee starts actually thinking fast. You know, obviously he wasn't coming over to watch football. Now, Chris knows this, so he just comes out and says, oh, well, who's playing? Just to catch him off guard. Like, you know, he throws these questions out to throw them off. I guess Dupee just likes to watch football. I mean, that's not what he was going to do tonight, but it's still kind of funny that, you know, Dupee's kind of stupid, obviously, but, you know, this is the singular time this entire conversation that he actually, like, snaps back really fast and with full confidence. As I just find that kind of funny.
I had no intentions with nothing.
No intentions of...
Nope.
Excellent grammar.
Well, John, what do you do for a living?
I was working at UPS.
UPS. And
Was.
did you walk here today, or
No, my sister dropped me off.
you don't have a driver's license?
Yeah, I do.
No car.
No.
So what do you do at UPS?
I wouldn't trust Dupee with the car. He'd be too distracted looking at, like, going past a school zone. Like, you know, you're supposed to go slower in a school zone. He would be doing 5 miles per hour in a 20. He'd just be too busy staring, hoping. Wouldn't trust him.
I was a package handler.
Package handler. You're not there anymore.
No.
What do you do now?
Nothing.
Besides go online and try to talk to young girls.
I don't try to talk to...
Also, that's another little funny thing that people like to make fun of him for. You know, he was a package handler. You know, it just kind of sounds funny, I guess. You know.
I mean, I just try to find a girl to talk to and hang out, whatever.
And how many times have you done this with somebody who's 13, 14 years old?
Never.
Never talked to another girl who said she was 13?
Nope.
Well, who's Brittany?
Who's Brittany?
That was the other girl you were talking to.
Look, you can see it. You can see the shit. You can see it in his eyes of, well, it was already bad. It's gotten worse. You've got caught lying directly there, so why wouldn't you be lying about your other statements? It's great. You can just see it. I mean, you can start to see the perspiration already starting. It'll get worse. You know, it'll start to get worse, but you can see the beginnings of it now, where he realizes he's in a bad situation.
What was this?
The silence, it's so
In
great.
the last few weeks. So you say to Bailey on Whisper
On Whisper.
that you're 30. How old are you?
Goddamn Whisper, man. Like, when I was in high school, I don't even know what half of these things are. The most obscure one I knew of was Kick or something like that. I don't even know what half of these websites are or half of the apps. You know, like Whisper. Wasn't there one that Cologne was on? I can't remember right now. It's been a little while since I've seen Cologne segment. Blink, I think it was, or something like that. But I don't really understand these obscure ass like apps that are like dating or talking or something. It's just strange. I don't know if I'm just out of the times or what's happening, but well, you know, out of the times. I think these came out in 2015, but whatever.
She says 13. You say, you're not 13 in that pic. Yes, I'll be 14 next month. That's pretty clear. You remember that, right? Mm-hmm. You do.
Now, another thing that people point out a lot is this
You
part
remember
right
that,
here.
right?
Now watch, right here. You can see his heart.
You do.
Thump, thump, thump. You can see his nervousness, like in a physical manifestation of beyond his sweat, beyond the nervous look, the fidgeting, he's obviously not in the dominant pose here. He's all hunched over, trying to make himself look a little bit smaller. Like defensive-esque. He's covering his chest, kind of like almost curling up a little bit. But yeah, you can visibly see the signs.
And later you tell her, I would love to be the first guy to make you blank if you wanted me to.
Blank.
I wanted to. Feel me inside you, baby.
Classic line. Classic. I think that's probably one of the ones where he's more known for. The feel me inside you, baby. Like, it's just so cringy. It's so awful. But it's so great. Because Dupee's a dumbass. So it's great.
Has that line ever worked for you before?
No.
Then why do you do that now?
Even my favorite thing, look, even Chris Hansen's like, that was so dumb. You can see him like start to chuckle a little bit. Watch.
Has that line ever worked for you before?
No.
Then why do
Look,
you do
he
that now?
starts laughing. He starts laughing at him because that shit is so pathetic. Like even an adult saying that to another adult, it's just awful. Like
There was no, I mean,
Well, what am I to make of this?
there was no intentions made by it.
That shows clear intent.
yeah, it does.
I want you to feel me inside you. What did you mean by that exactly?
Damning words. Damning.
And then you talk about that you and a bunch of people snuck.
Now Chris goes off and goes to talking about where he broke into the mansion, but I think it would have been interesting if Chris left the silence in the air, just let John just stew in that for a solid 15 to 20 seconds of just, oh, what did you mean by feel me inside you? I feel like that would be, I mean, it wouldn't have accomplished much more, but if it's obviously a rhetorical question, but maybe you could be like, Cody Green and just respond with a flat answer, and then just, you have flat evidence for your case. But it's over and done with, but it still would have been funny.
Into a mansion and
Partied
party
for days.
Where was that mansion?
That was a while ago,
How long ago?
maybe 8-9 years ago.
Oh, so it was a long time ago.
And I'm sorry, I'm so sorry I keep on pausing, but there's just a lot of stuff I remember from other videos that I've obtained, like, knowledge from. It's, when he talks about breaking into the mansion, I'm not going to go into the details of where this mansion is or whose mansion it was. You can, if you wanted to watch it, you can watch someone else who's a little bit more in depth. But I think what the more interesting thing is he says online and to Chris that he's 30. He's not 30. You can tell by looking at him. What's funny is that when he broke into the mansion 8 or 9 years ago, he probably was close to 30 at that time. It's just funny, he's like, claims that he's 30, but when he committed this crime, he probably was the same age that he's claiming to be now.
Yeah.
This does not look very good for you, John. The chat, the appearance,
Again, the pulsing
the
vein.
Cheetos, the dark chocolate. Did you bring condoms with
No.
you? Not in your pockets.
Nope.
But you see how this looks.
Absolutely. I mean,
You're 30 years old.
Allegedly.
The girl you were talking to told you very clearly she was 13.
and I mean, I had no intentions just besides
John,
No
why don't you
intentions.
just tell me what you were really up to.
just to hang out, get to know her,
Get to know her.
Yeah.
Why do you need to get to know a 13-year-old? This is not something you need to do. If it's on your bucket list, scratch it off your bucket list. You don't need it. Get it off of your bucket list.
And if you were the parent of a 13-year-old girl, would you be comfortable with that?
I mean, it depends how I mean, if I'm a good person,
Just say no. Just say no,
Typically,
John.
good people don't meet strangers online, talk about sex, and then go over to visit, and within 3 minutes ask for a hug
With minors.
I mean, all I did was just ask for, a hello hug. That was it.
with a 13-year-old girl. Walked right in the house.
I never would have
Well,
just
she told me to come in.
never would have just walked in.
Does that make it right? Knowing that she's 13.
Oh, I wouldn't have never just walked in, without talking to her, without getting her okay.
Now, you talked about spending the night here tonight.
Well,
Yes or no?
it depended, like, if she had to wake up in the morning, like, if I was going to stay
Did she
here.
have to go to school?
She said she didn't have to go to school today.
In fact, you have to mention her having to go to school. There's already a problem, Dupee. You've already sank yourself too deep.
I'm in tomorrow.
So you could just spend the night and hang out with a 13-year-old girl. That's cool.
Just
Well,
watch
I didn't
football.
plan on it.
Well, you talked about it.
I was going to leave after the football game.
Sure, Dupee. Sure.
Unless you spent the night.
No, I didn't plan on spending the night.
Well, you talked about having cannolis, a little dinner.
Yeah,
Sounds like you were going to have a special little night with your 13-year-old date.
just come over, have some cannolis, some snacks, watch the football game.
Who's ringing you up?
Oh, my cousin.
And this is the famous cousin who calls him mid-interrogation. Well, it's not really interrogation, but mid-interaction with Hanson.
Your cousin.
Yeah.
What does your cousin want? Does your cousin know that you're coming to visit a 13-year-old girl tonight?
That looked like a
No.
jump cut almost.
Your sister?
No, she knows that I was just coming to hang out with a girl.
So what would
Of
your
course, why would
sister
he ever
think
tell them?
if she knew she was dropping you off at the home where a 13-year-old girl was alone? Think she'd be cool with that?
Now, obviously, Dupee is not going to say, no, she would not be cool with that. But you saying anything else other than, no, she would not be cool with that, you're now being slanderous. He's now, like, saying things that are, like, you're putting a bad name on your sister at that point. You're now including her into your schemes here. Slanderous. That's the word I was
She
looking
probably
for.
would say, just don't do it, don't do anything stupid,
Don't do anything stupid.
Right.
I think you've already done that.
Seems like you've already done that.
Such a good line.
All I was doing was just coming here to watch the game.
You tried to solicit a 13-year-old girl online using graphic sexual language. What do you think should happen to you?
Sir, I'm not like that and a bad guy. Trust me.
How does this look? How does it?
That was kind of. I like the way he did that. He picked it up as symbolism to show, like, look, this is what you did. And obviously Dupee, it's just completely avoided the question. Hanson asks clearly, "What do you think should happen to you?" And he says, "I'm not a bad guy." That's not the question that was asked. Because if you answered the question that was directly asked, you'd be incriminating yourself.
How does it look? John, you tell me, how does it look? If you were me, what would you think?
That I honestly made a mistake.
That you made a mistake?
That's
Well,
true.
that's true. And how would you define that mistake?
Not to talk to girls like online.
The little laugh. It's so good. The little not talk to girls online.
Or try to come over and have sex with them?
I wasn't trying to come over and have sex with her.
John, the disappointment.
I
John.
would love to be the first guy to make you blank if you wanted me to, and I want you to feel me inside you, baby. What do you mean by that? Sounds like sex to me.
My favorite
I
thing
was
is
just playing with her,
he probably has things highlighted
Not
in
playing with
there.
her, but it just seemed like where she was. Like
She was
she was
13. The
I never
disappointment.
had sex with her. I didn't
Obviously not, Dupee. If you did, you wouldn't be in the sting.
plan on coming here to have
Well,
sex
not-
with her,
Tonight, because I walked in.
and I didn't plan on it.
You didn't plan on it. Come on, you talked about it.
Like that wasn't my intentions. I
can also
talked to
see
her
his
all
meth
day today
mouth.
about just coming over, watching the game, and just hanging out.
Salads.
About what?
You talked about salads.
Now, this was another part that was a little bit confusing to most people that watched it and the people who actually read the chat log. Because if I understand correctly, I haven't personally read all of the Dupee chat log, but from what I've heard, I don't believe there's any mention of salads in this sense. of a sexual nature. I believe the only time a salad is mentioned is when the decoy mentions that she's eating a salad, but this is just like saying that, is eating, greenery, that type of deal, like, vegetables. Obviously, I don't have to explain what Chris Hansen's talking about, but he's not talking about vegetables.
Probably food and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, while we're watching the game.
This is a whole different kind of food here that you're talking about. So what do you think should happen to you, John? You're in a bit of a fix here.
I'm terribly sorry, sir.
The nervous hand movement.
Well, there's something you need to know, and that is I'm Chris Hansen. And this is an investigation called Hansen versus Predator. Sir, if you want to leave, you should go out that door right there.
No. Imagine if we did go through out that door. The police would be flanked by a very scared Dupee. He honestly probably would have got tackled right to the ground there if he went behind them. Oh, that would have been funny. Just he goes right behind him and he's like, oh, makes a noise, instantly tackled to the ground. Also notice, both times he really wants to get into that side room. He doesn't want to be in that garage. I'm not exactly sure why, but he really just doesn't want to be in that garage. Oh, there he goes.
Just follow my commands. Do you have anything on you that's going to hurt us? No, sir. Any weapons?
No, sir.
Can I see this scar?
The old unmarked car.
Yep.
Alright, so I'm not gonna watch the interrogation. I mean, I think the interrogation was alright. I mean, the only thing I really am over the moon about is his goddamn shirt that's looks like goddamn Soldier Boy. It's apparently I watched a video and apparently I think these are nines. I think, or they're either nines or G's. I can't remember which one, but apparently during early 2000s or something, these were like a really popular and now currently very expensive shirt. And apparently in the chat log, he mentioned that he put on a nice shirt. He mentioned that he was wearing a like some sort of polo shirt before, and he switched out of that into this. Like, you've downgraded immediately. But anyway, like, look how low this goes on his arms. Like, it's almost like it's almost a sweatshirt on you, man. Like, look at it. It like, you couldn't tell if you had like, you're either like, I mean, obviously you can tell from the hands and the face, but like, he could either be 250 pounds or he could be 150 pounds. Like, you wouldn't know the difference. Like, look how big that is on him. Like, he could be 300 pounds and just barely fit that shirt. Like, was it just the last one on stock on clearance or something? Like, you gotta know your limits, man. But, alright, that's where I'm gonna leave it off with the famous 999 shirt. Because I personally don't like the interrogation all that much, and the video's probably already gone on long enough, so I'm gonna leave it off here. Tell me in the comments anything you'd like me to do in the future, any suggestions or anything of that nature. All right, I'll see y'all next video. All right, bye.